as you guys can see, the 240 is back on the ground. Well, all the times that truck is down, my dad has always let me use his vehicles whenever I need to go to the auto store and stuff to get stuff to make it run. So letting him use it now to deliver a desk. Pretty loud from the outside. Not really used to hearing it from the outside. So I figured I'd do this video completely different than usual, and I went on ahead and did more of an edit of doing the suspension instead of a vlog. As you guys can see, the 240 is back on the ground. Right now it needs to be cleaned because it has metal shavings all over it, and those will rust over time. So the front suspension still needs to be tightened up. We're gonna do that probably in the next video, and then the rear suspension is completely tightened up and done. So if you guys saw, this suspension was completely rusted away and just terrible for such a long time and really, really bad. So I wanted to go on ahead and redo it, and it looks so much better now. The wheel bearings are safe, all the little bushings are redone, all the ball joints, all that, and it looks way better. I'm not saying it's perfect, but gosh, it looks worlds better than it was. It has a stock differential now, not a welded diff. Before it had a welded diff. I didn't really want that. My plan is for whenever this goes out, or has issues, or whenever I just want to, I'll put an LSD in it. For now, I just wanted something that works. So we went in stock suspension because that was like $70 on eBay, and repainted the arms and stuff and put it in. And so we redid the subframe, redid the bushings in the subframe, new differential in it. Well, we redid an old one and made it new. Put new gaskets on it, new oil in it, new stuff all inside. I didn't really get any footage of that. I was kind of surprised I didn't. I just didn't notice in the moment for some reason. And then we did new alignment arms. We did new ball joints. We restored the lower control arms. We restored the knuckles, put new brake rotors, new brake pads, new calipers, whole new brake system in a previous video. A ton of stuff has been done to that rear end, and so it's much better off now. It's pretty much just stock, which is fine. I do want to do the GK Tech suspension for the rear of this. It's like the best suspension they make. There's a video in the description talking all about it if you guys want to watch someone talk about it way more in depth than I ever could. Video in description. That guy's super cool. And that suspension is what I would want to do, especially because I do want to track this car and race it. So that will come with time. As for right now, I just wanted to get it to the point of being operable because I want to be able to put the engine in and all that kind of stuff, and that was just something that had to be done before the engine goes in. And then, like I said, we need to tighten up the front suspension. Nothing crazy there, just work on it. It'll be pretty easy to tighten up. And then we're really raring up to put the engine and transmission in the car. We already did the transmission tunnel and brackets and stuff. That's ready. Suspension's done, so that's going to be ready. We're going to tighten down the front suspension, so it'll be ready. Yes, I don't have coilovers yet. I have these old coilovers that came with the car that need to be replaced. I'm aware of that. I'm just going to do that later on because, again, we're just trying to get this car running, let alone drive yet. The car driving properly, that's going to be a whole different thing. So, and now they're starting to mow. So let's go inside. And if you're new to the channel, the Charger is my dad's. The channel's not doing that good yet. But this is the engine that's going in the 240 we've been working on. It's an LM7. The 5.3 V8 from Chevrolet. You guys know about it probably. We've rebuilt it, did a whole series on it. So right now what we're working on is we just got the oil pan on, and we're about to put the flywheel and adapter plate for the transmission on it. Then we're gonna put the clutch on that, and then the nicely new painted transmission, that's a Z32 transmission, is gonna go on it. Once that is done, which you guys will see that video, that's a whole separate video. Once that is done, we can go on ahead and do another video after that of putting this into the car. Now it won't have the intake manifold, it won't have the fuel rail system, the fuel injectors, the fuel lines, it won't have water pump, AC condenser, alternator. It won't have any of that stuff. It's just going to be a engine in the car. So it won't be ready to be started anytime soon, but that's a big, massive step. So go and subscribe so you guys don't miss that video. That video is going to be so cool. I just cannot wait to actually see this in the car and see the car a little bit more complete. So now that the rear suspension is taken care of, minus the CV axles and stuff, what we need to do after we put the engine in is all the accessories for the engine to get it to the point of running. Wiring harness is important. It's also very expensive, so it's going to be a little bit before I could do that. Once we do the wiring harness, then we can do the drive shaft, and we can do the CV axles and all that. And then once it can start, and we got to put the radiator in, which is right there. Once we do all that,